Away from the Ayawaso by-elections and related matters, let's now delve into another issue which has dominated headline discussions over the last 9 years. And today is exactly 9 years when the Right to Information Bill was laid in Parliament. The bill would enable the operationalization of the constitutional right to information held by the public and some private institutions. But what has been the bill's journey on the floor of the legislature?
The Right to Information Bill was laid in Parliament 9 years ago today. The bill was to foster a culture of transparency and accountability in public affairs and to provide for related matters. But the bill's journey in Parliament has been tortuous. The RTI bill was first drafted in 1999, reviewed in 2003, 2005 and 2007, but was only presented to Parliament in 2010. The RTI was brought back to the 6th Parliament but could not be passed till the expiration of that Parliament on January 6, 2016. Government after government have promised to pass the RTI bill, but this has not been successful. Before the 6th meeting of Parliament closed in 2016, there were attempts at passing the bill, but this also failed. Upon coming into office of the NPP government in 2016, several top government officials, including the president, at the country's National Independence Day celebration, promised to get a bill passed. The Speaker of Parliament, Professor Michael Quay, has also promised that the House will steer the process. So far, considerable work has been done with the media coalition pushing for the bill to be passed. Though Parliament has made some amendments to the bill, it is unsure when the bill will be passed. Some suggested amendment has generated debate, particularly the call to delay implementation of the bill when passed into law for 12 months. A media coalition has been championing the need to get the bill passed.
All right, so we're going to stay a while longer on this subject. It's one of our big stories for the day. Remember, you can join us with the views, comments and suggestions on this story and any other story that tickles your fancy. Visiting our social media pages on Facebook and on Twitter. We're also streaming live on Facebook. Now, let me just quickly take you through a number of countries that have successfully passed the Right to Information Bill. And of course, in Africa, for instance, we've got 24 countries that have successfully passed the Right to Information Bill. We have South Africa, Angola, Zimbabwe, Uganda, Nigeria, Ethiopia, Rwanda, Liberia, as well as Guinea. Now, just quickly to in the Middle East, for instance, we've got 3 countries, Jordan, Yemen, and Israel, who have successfully also passed the Right to Information Bill. In the Asia Pacific region, we've got 16 countries. That includes Bangladesh, India, Thailand, Taiwan, Indonesia, New Zealand, and these are all countries that have successfully passed the Right to Information Bill. Meanwhile, 15 countries in the Americas and 6 in the Caribbean have also had access to the law. All right, so we're going to do a discussion on this right now. Elvis Darko leads the coalition on the Right to Information Bill. He joins me in studio. Mr. Darko, thank you very much for your time and good to have you. I know you've championed this, the cause for the Right to Information Bill to be passed into law. It's been 9 years. What do you make of it?
Well, we have always insisted that it is long overdue. But finally, Parliament has done the needful, and as we speak, they've done all the 92 clauses, the amendments, and we have reviewed amendments, and we have some few issues, and we have written to Parliament. They've asked that we present a paper to them on the issues we have raised, and we believe that once we clear that hurdle, then the bill is full to go.
Do you see sustained efforts by successive governments in having this bill passed into law?
Well, looking at the number of years, I would say no, because
you mean governments have not been committed?
I'm not really committed to passing this bill because.
But often in opposition, they do give us the assurance that when they come into
power. But when they are in power, then you see that the commitment level is not as high as when they are in opposition.
And what is the challenge with that?
Well, the bill. One thing I've seen about the bill, there's this misconception about the bill, which people are afraid of that. This is a weapon that is to be given to the media to go and attack politicians. So this misconception about the bill has created some problem, and therefore a lot of politicians seems to be uneasy about getting this bill passed into law. And therefore, every now and then, they try to raise one issue or the other with the bill. But I think that last year, we've done quite a good job by explaining to people that the bill is not about only politicians. The bill is about entire Ghana, and it's not for the media alone. Every citizen can use the bill. If you think that you need information from a public institution, the bill spells out the modalities, what you should do. And the bill also tells the public official what they should do to supply you the information. So we managed to educate the Ghanaian public, and I think even some members of Parliament and politicians got to understand that, oh, this bill goes beyond the perception that is to attack politicians. And I think that has been something that is going down. And if after it's passed, we think that is where we need to do a lot of work for people to understand what benefits are when we talk about an RTI regime.
And quite frankly, does the coalition see this bill being passed into law by the end of this year?
Oh, definitely. Where we are, in fact, this morning we are just from Parliament to go and talk to the leader of the committee that is working on the bill about issues that we have with the amendment that have been done so far. And the way he received us, he gave us the assurance they are willing to pass the bill. In fact, today they would have considered the bill, but he told us the leadership of the House have traveled. They are not there, so they can't work on the bill. So he actually asked that we quickly work on our concerns and present it to him. He will circulate to the members of the committee so that by the time the leadership is back in Parliament to consider the bill, they will have considered the issues we have raised with the bill, and they can factor them into the
Elvis Darko, and I need to say a big thank you to you. Thanks very much for joining us in studio. Elvis Darko is leader of the Coalition for the Right to Information bill. And